Okay, Simon Utes. I forgot. What is it? I'm sorry.
Test.
Ches?
Test to the end.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we're talking about the making the mistakes in Masharuch in Shemoneh Esrei, right? So Sif test. So Kah b'Ma'ariv. Um, right. If you made a mistake by right? We didn't do that.
Check it.
Okay, Tav b'Ma'ariv. Lel Rishon Shel Pesach. If you made a mistake by Ma'ariv in the first night of Pesach, we think we did it for the other one. Tav b'Ma'ariv Lel Rishon Shel Pesach. If you made a mistake by Ma'ariv of the first night of Pesach, Ches.
Yeah. And Nusach.
Okay, I'm mixing it up with Talmud. Okay, sorry. Ches. Let's say you masupik if he said mashav or not. Right, a very common question. If it's after 30 days, shekvar hispalel tishim pa'am karoi, where you already said it 90 times. Um, right. So cheskasa shigam atas pal kehergel shalei karoi. Then you already have a chazaka that your lips got used to saying it that way, and memela, um, you can just assume that you did it properly. There is a machlokes whether it's 90 times or 30 days, right? Because if you say Mashruch Goshim, if it's 90 times, it's this is happening before 30 days because there's usually four musafs, right? Maybe five Mashruch Goshim, five musafs, right? Um, so that's a question. But the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch is going with 90 times. But here he changes and he says 30 days. You have to go back and daven. V'chein b'talumoter, same thing with talumoter, and mistapik loy. If he's not sure, la'achar shekvar aspal tishim tfilas karoi, after he daven 90 tfilas properly, mukmina na chaskase, you put it on the chazaka shegam ata hispal karoi, that you also daven karoi. V'kaidem l'chein tzarach lachzor l'spalo, and before that he has to go back and daven. Right, meaning before that because you're masupik. Fine. Test. Tova Myrav Lo Rishon Shapeza. Let's say you made a mistake by Myrav. So we discussed yesterday that really you're supposed to change over by Myrav. We don't because we wait till the day to change over. Really, it should start that night. V'spal Tfilas Shmoneh Esrei Shachol, and you daven the weekday Shmoneh Esrei. V'nisko la'achar sheyiskel baruch aleinu shadin hu shetzarach l'sayim kol oisa bracha. Right. We know that if you daven Shmoneh Esrei, a weekday Shmoneh Esrei on Shabbos or Yom Tiv, you continue that bracha until you finish that bracha, and then you shift back to the Shabbos and Yom Tov Shmoneh Esrei. So here he was in a real space out because he already skipped Slach Lanu, which means that didn't wake him up when he banged on his chest, right? So and then he got to Baruch Aleinu, and he has to finish that bracha. Come on, Siman Ayin Vav. Eino Emr Talumata. Don't say Talumata. Kivin Shigam Atzibur Eino Emr, because the tzibur is not saying it. Right? And if the shaila happens, who yom haschalas lishol talmud, meaning when you're supposed to ask, the yom Shabbos, let's say it started on yom Shabbos, with tov ispal shel chol, the hiskil, was it this year? I don't know if it's, was it December 4th? Yeah, isn't it? No, it's Thursday. Right? V'tov ispal shel chol, the hiskil baruch aleinu, gam kein, eino omer talumata. Don't say Talmud. Kivin shatzibur adayin lo yeschilu va'yachid nigro tamed achar atzibur. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's meaning if you're supposed to start Talmud, let's say it would be on a Friday night that perhaps you're supposed to start Talmud. So we don't start Talmud because nothing, you don't have it in Baruch Aleinu. Because we don't say Baruch Aleinu on Shabbos. But this guy messed up and he said Baruch Aleinu anyways. So then he still should not say Talmud because the tzibur hasn't started saying Talmud. Meaning in theory, the tzibur would have started saying Talmud, right? But they didn't because it's Shabbos. Okay, it's an odd case. Yud shakach yalav v'yaveh b'resh chodesh b'shachas b'mincha. Let's say you forgot yalav v'yaveh. Oh, so this is starting already to tomorrow night, Bez Hashem, right? So if you got yalav v'yaveh on resh chodesh b'shachas b'mincha, by shachas and mincha u'b'chol hamayid, And on Cholamoyed, Bain b'Shachris, Bain b'Mincha, Bain b'Mayriv, and on Cholamoyed doesn't make a difference. Shachris, Mincha, Mayriv. Im Niskar Koidem Shomer Yul Ratzon. If he remembers before he say Yul Ratzon, Chayzer or Maschel Ritzei, you go back to Ritzei. Afilu Im Niskar Koidem Shischel Moedim. That's even if you remembered before Moedim, meaning don't say it there. Don't say it before Moedim. You go back to Ritzei. Kivin Shasim Birchas Amachs Shchinasai Litzion Tzarech Lahaschel Ritzei. You have to start with Ritzei. Like I wrote by Mashav Ruach. Achim Niskar Koidem Birchas Amachs Shchinasai Litzion. But if you remember, meaning you said Baruch Atah Hashem, and then you remember, so I'm Risham Musayim V'Sechazena Inenu. Then go back to V'Sechazenu. Ve'im Loi Niskar Ad La'achar Yul Ratzon. If you didn't remember till you said Yul Ratzon, which we said is the end of Shemona Esrei, even if you didn't take your 3 steps back, Chayzer Rosh Tefillah, you have to go back to the beginning of the Shemona Esrei. U'Rosh Chodesh Im Shokach Yal V'Yom B'Mayriv Bein Sherosh Chodesh Hu Shnei Yom and Bein She'en El Yom Echad. By Mayriv, if you get Yal V'Yavai, whether it's 2 days or 1 day, Kiman Shomer Baruch Atah Hashem, V'Yizgar Es Hashem, since he said Baruch Atah Hashem, and he remembered the name, Shuv Ein Echayzer, and he doesn't go back, El Masayim Amach Sishchi Nasa L'Tzion, V'Goymer Tfilasa, by Mayriv, right? The reason for that is because they were not Makadosh the Chodesh at night. The problem is that this is a din specific to Rosh Chodesh. But like the Kitzur said before, people think that if you forget Yalav Yava Yom Tif, or you forget Yalav Yom Tif Cholamayid by Mayriv, they think the reason is that you don't repeat it because Mayriv is a Rishus. That is not the case. It's only specific to Rosh Chodesh. If you forget Yalav Yava on Cholamayid, by Mayriv, you have to repeat. And at all other times. It's only a din in Rosh Chodesh. Fine. Yudala. Shakav Rosh Chodesh or B'cholamayid Yalav Yava B'Shachris. Let's say on Rosh Chodesh or Cholamayid you forgot Yalav Yava B'Shachris. Afal Pishalei Niskar Ad La'achar Shespalam Musaf. Even though you didn't remember until after Musaf. Shekfar Zocher Rosh Chodesh Shel Cholamayid, because by Musaf you already mentioned Rosh Chodesh. Mikom Mokum Tzarech Lachzor L'Spal Shachris. You have to go back and daven Shachris v'im over Zmana, and if the Zman passed, Yashlimana b'tfilas HaMincha, then you have to say Mincha twice. Not everybody agrees to this, because many opinions say that even though you botched the Shemona Esrei of Shachris, but once you daven another Shemona Esrei of Musaf, and you mention Rosh Chodesh, then you don't go back to Shachris. So what the Paiskim say to do is that you should daven a second Shemona Esrei with a Tanai, with a condition. And the condition should be, if you go with the opinions that say you have to repeat Shachris, so you're repeating. If the halach is like the opinions that you don't have to repeat it because you already mentioned Rosh Chodesh and Musaf, then you are davening a nadava. You're davening a present to Hashem. That's the
What
best.
Nadav like Shacharis and Nadav like Musaf?
A nadava of Shachris. A nadava,
So
because you're repeating Shachris.
So you're davening Shacharis anyway. You have to daven Shacharis anyway. You just have to have in mind that you're doing it like
Correct.
Nadava in case you don't have to.
Exactly. Yeah. Very good. Yud Aleph. We just said that, right? Yud Beis. B'chol makom shu tzarech lachzor l'spalo. Anytime you have to go back and daven tzarech lahamtin k'dei hiluch arba amas. You have to wait to go back the amount of time it takes dalet amas, right? Meaning, you just finished Shemona Esrei, right? And then you realize that you messed up. So then wait the time to walk dalet amas, and then you go back. But if you're still in the middle of Shemona Esrei and you realize you have to go back, so then meaning on Rosh Chodesh you just go back to Ritzei, so you don't have to step out. It's only once you finish that you have to go back to the beginnings, and you have to wait the amount of time it takes to walk dalet amas is a couple of seconds, right?
And Lechatchila is to Mechadesh something?
Not on a Tanai you don't have to, as far as I know. On a Tanai you don't have to.
On a Tefillah Nadava.
Yeah, on a regular tefillah dover, yes.
But in this case not?
I think not. I think
I'm saying if you're holding that maybe it's Nadava, then maybe it should not.
What?
If you hold that maybe it's gonna be Tefillah Nadava, then maybe it's good to Mechadesh something, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Good. Gimel Shliach Tzibur Shetah B'Tfilas Halachash. Let's say that Shliach Tzibur messed up in his silent Shemona Esrei. Ein Chayzer Mispal Shenis Mnei Tareach Tzibur. He should not repeat his Shemona Esrei because then he's going to cause everybody to wait. Ela Saimech Ala Tefillah Sheyispal B'Kol Ram. He's Saimech on the Tefillah that his Chazaras Hashatz, right? That will be his makeup Shemona Esrei. V'chein La'achar Chazaras Tefillah Yamer Alikai Netzar V'Yafsiyah Shalos P'Siyas. After his Chazaras Hashatz, he should say Alikai Netzar. I don't know how he's going to do that, though. Let's say it's by mincha and there's no tachnun. How's he pulling that off? He's making everybody stay quiet? Everybody's going to be quiet while he says Elikai Netzar? I guess. But that's also Tichud Tzibura. So I never really understood exactly what's going on here.
Why Shalek Tzibur needs to do it?
Huh?
Why Shalek Tzibur needs to do it? Because
What?
his first was Paso, his first
Yes,
davening was
yes,
Paso.
yes. His
Now
first
he
was
needs
no
to
good. Yeah,
repeat them.
yeah.
Cool. But we said before that Elokai Netzur you can say even after the whole thing.
Right, so maybe that's what it means, but he says to do it before he takes the 3 steps back. So I'm not sure.
Are you saying if the Shliach Tzibur messes up on his Shalom Shemona Esrei, so when he says Chazar Shashatz, he
That's
should say
his regular
Elikai
Shemona
Netzar?
Esrei. Yes.
Right.
Yes, but how?
I asked you something similar to this a few weeks ago. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Achim.
it's a shtickle stira in him because he holds that you can make 3 steps back in the middle of Elokai Netzur.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Maybe you can only make 3 steps back when it's Shas at Chag, but in this case it's not.
I don't know. Could be. Could be. Im Tov b'shalosh brachas rishonos, if he made a mistake in the first 3 brachas, when niskar koinem sheishim tfilasai, and he remembers before he finished the tefillah, be'inyan shelo yehi b'chazarasai tereach hatzibur, and the inyan that it shouldn't be when chazara tereach hatzibur, yachzer, he should go back. Fine. Yud Dalet. B'yayim atainis, on a fast day, bein b'tainis tzibur, bein b'tainis yachid, whether the tainis tzibur or the tainis yachid, Aimer b'tfilas amincha b'bircha shema kelenu anenu. וכשמגיע לבכל עץ צר וצוקה, יסיים כי אתה שומע וכו'. ואם שכח מלומר עננו, and if you forgot to say עננו, אם לא נזכר עד לאחר שאמר את השם מברכת שמע תפילה, if he didn't remember until after he said the bracha of שמע תפילה, אין החייזה ואמר, he doesn't go back and say it, אלא לאחר שגומר כל התפילה, only after he finishes the whole תפילה, לאחר אליקי נצר, קודם שיעקר רגליו. Before he takes the 3 steps back, if you don't remember, once you finish Shemona Esrei, so you don't say it at all, which is interesting because why not say it? It's not a bracha. I don't know why you can't just say it. Okay, fine. Simin Chav. Din Chazaras Shliach Tzibur, otherwise known as Chazaras Hashatz. Shatz, by the way, stands for Shliach Tzibur. Uba Yud Beis Seifim. So, Al, when this, a lot of Chazarim don't know this. When you take 3 steps back from your silent Shemona Esrei, you should stay in your spot. The amount of time it takes to walk 4 amas, and then go back to your place. Now, the poets can say that if you're waiting, let's say, for the rabbi, don't take the 3 steps up and then wait there. You should wait with your 3 steps back. But one thing is for sure, you shouldn't walk around. Everybody has to be careful, to be quiet during Chazaras Hashatz, and to listen well. And to have kavanah what he says. I'll call bracha kiroi, and you have to make sure you do it all properly. You're not allowed to learn. You're not allowed to learn, even though there are shittas that say you are. There is a shita, Merame Pano, I think it is, who holds you are allowed to, as long as you can concentrate on the brachas and be able to answer Amen, he holds you are allowed to answer Amen.
To learn, you mean to learn?
You are allowed to learn, yes. But I mean, it's that the minig is not. Reb Chaim Kanievsky was fire against anybody learning during Chazaras Hashatz. Bottom line is, usually the more educated people, the big Talmidei Chachamim, somehow manage to be Talmidei Chachamim even though they don't learn during Chazaras Hashatz. Right? So Vafilu Limud also b'shashatz, and it goes without saying, checking emails and texts and etc. etc. Right? Of course, you got to be careful not from Sicha B'Tela. Right? And that's where the Shulchan Aruch says it's Gadol Avonim in the soy. His Avera is more than you can bear. Right? The Aruch HaShulchan is a fascinating Aruch HaShulchan who says that if a rabbi gets asked a shaila during Chazaras Hashatz, he's allowed to talk. Okay, so whatever.
Not supposed to walk outside?
That could be. I don't know. Maybe the rabbi can't walk outside. I don't know who the person is asking the question, though, right? Right? Why is he asking the question? Probably somebody else. They davened already. And if it's easy for a person, really, if you have the ability, you should stand with your feet together. That's what it sounds like. Or with your eyes closed, or follow along in the siddur, that the Shliach Tzibur does. Most of the world does not do this. Many people, or he's saying some people, they use the break, the Chazaras Hashatz, to take off the tefillin of Rashi and put on the tefillin of Reinu Tam. They are not doing properly. Ayin Prima Godim that they shouldn't do that. Beis Chazaras Tefillah Shliach Tzibur Kivan Shliach Tzibur Kvar Aspal B'nei Atzmei Belachash. Since the Shliach Tzibur already davened, Ve'ena Chazaras Tefillah Rak B'Shvil Hashoimim, and he's only doing Chazaras Hashatz for the people that are listening to him. You need 9 people to listen and answer. And so there shouldn't be a bracha levatala. That we said. What do we say over there? That you needed just arrive. All right. That's by Kaddish. There it's more makel. Kaddish is more makel than Chazaras Hashatz. That's why by Ma'ariv sometimes you can be makel to start the Kaddish, even though you wouldn't be makel with Chazaras Hashatz. When there's an exact minyan, you know how to make sure that you have 9 plus the chazan to answer. A lot of confusion with this thing, but that is the din. For Chazaras Hashatz, you really have to have 10 people all together. Okay, we will stop over there. Everybody should have a fine.
Are you walking or are you driving?
I don't know. Where's Naftali?
I mean, if you are walking, it's probably not gonna make sense. It's gonna be like yesterday.